Why does everyone want to be an entrepreneur nowadays? Everyone says that they want to be an entrepreneur because it's cool, again. No one wants to slave away working in banking, consulting or law when they can change the world and be a billionaire at the same time. Hell, you don't even need to graduate from college, let alone get an advanced degree, and who needs any business experience at all? Just look at Zuckerberg. And when you're as smart as everyone who thinks they'd be a good entrepreneur thinks they are, how can they not be super successful? It's the easy route to luxury cars, models hanging off of every appendage, and private jets. I graduated college in the mid to late 90s when the dot-com boom was really ramping up. It was cool to start up anything, raise a bunch of VC money, never have profit and maybe no revenue, and go public. You could sell your company without even having a finished product. It was a sweet time to be a tech entrepreneur because everyone was getting rich and it was easy, right? That's what the press reported, so it must have been true. Now valuations are big again, so it's cool, again, and everyone thinks it's an easy life before they actually do it. The dot-com boom was cool until there was the bust and everyone went back into banking, consulting, law and general corporate America. I can't tell if there will be as big of a bust this time, but it won't go on forever. Being an entrepreneur seems like something cool to say when you're in college or fresh out, but it's an exceedingly difficult life. You never turn off. Your business is always on your mind, you're not drawing a salary for a while, and if you fail it's done and you most likely lose all, or at least most, of your money. And most startups fail. It was true during the last boom and bust cycle, it is true now, and it will be true in the future. I'm all for entrepreneurship, so I'm not trying to dissuade anyone, but it's a lot of hard work. You should really think through what you're starting up and realize that there's a high chance of failing. Instead of deciding to be an entrepreneur and then coming up with an idea, get a job in the field that you like and could see yourself starting something up in. Get a little experience, see how corporate and/or startup life works, and I'm not saying to get a job at a huge corporate company like MSFT, but maybe a smaller company or a startup. Try to put some money away, build a network of like-minded people who could be co-founders and not simply your college roommate, and potential investors and advisors, and determine a product or service that you could build a company around. You'll still most likely fail because most startups do, but you'll gain real experience in how to start a company and hopefully learn from your mistakes. Saying you want to be an entrepreneur without an idea, and I mean a real vetted idea and not something that you and your college roommates came up with after taking bong hits, and borrowing $25,000 from your parents or family and blowing through it, is far different than diligently exploring an idea as I described above. Reality might disagree with you. Despite the hype, there are studies show there are actually less young entrepreneurs than before, supposedly. This is attributable to student debt and relatively higher cost of living, etc. But as far as the hype goes, and maybe the more widespread aspiration, I think it's a result of a few things. Lower barriers to entry. Now because of technology you can create something and distribute it for less than ever before. This makes it easy for just about anybody with ideas to jump in the game, for better or worse. Hype around super successful young people. Zuckerberg and his partners made billions as 20-somethings from an idea that was accessible to anybody with an internet connection. Odds and all the other variables be damned, that's pretty compelling. To think there are billions of dollars at anyone's fingertips. Rebellion against the corporate script. People are frustrated with the 9-to-5 ideology of the corporate era, where you trade your life for work. They don't trust retirement plans. They've seen corporate greed tank the economy. They've seen firings and layoffs and question the false sense of security of a good job. The rise of the me economy. Related to the first point, now there are many marketplaces that allow people to market and sell their creativity without friction. Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Craigslist, Freelancer, etc. There are thousands of places where, with some dedication, many people can be individual free agents and make a decent living. Now, about whether or not young people have gotten carried away, I think the hype has definitely created a lot of distortion. I've heard the argument that it's bad. I've heard the argument that all things considered it's immensely productive. The fluff and the Me Tooism is annoying, but I tend to think it's a net plus, because I'm an optimist, I guess, and because I believe there's indisputable truth in the macro view. The world is changing. Access is becoming the rule. That includes access to entrepreneurship. The more people creating, the more people trying, the better. The hypebeasts will flake out and the true blue entrepreneurs will stick it out no matter what, and we'll all be better off because of it. Now to your statement. Still, I personally see entrepreneurship as a means of creating beneficial change in a certain domain, not the goal, if I may say so. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't see the use in trying to judge people's motivations. Everybody has to start somewhere, with some pursuit, with some idea. Almost nobody ends up exactly where they were thinking. The only way to determine whether someone's for real or not is whether they keep doing the do.